After pulling an all-nighter grinding loot raids in the Delta game, I straight up dropped dead, then woke up as a hidden billionaire heir in a simp novel, living under a fake name. Right now, I'm standing at the entrance of my family's 5-star hotel ballroom, watching the campus belle female lead celebrate her first love's birthday like it's the event of the century. The system wants me to play the ultimate simp, stick to the plot, kneel, grovel, let the female lead emotionally and physically wreck me in every way possible. In the end, she's supposed to realize I'm way better than her first love. Once her regret meter hits 100%, she'll have some big brain epiphany and start a self-destructive, humiliating campaign to win me back. That's when I complete the mission, revive in the real world, and cash out $300 million. The system hyped me up, saying, "Host, the female lead deliberately didn't invite you to this birthday banquet. She even used your privileges to treat the entire class, all because she didn't want you to ruin her first love's special moment." According to the original plot, once you barge in, everyone will clown on you. Although the female lead will angrily kick you out, seeing your lonely back as you leave will still add 5 points of regret. So come on, act it out properly. I smiled knowingly. Only 5 points of regret, and you expect me to eat that kind of humiliation? Yeah. I casually froze the secondary black card, called over the banquet manager, and said, "From today on, Willow doesn't get free charges anymore. Bill her full price." I really wanted to see what happens when that dumb female lead realizes she can't afford the bill. Will her regret value still be just 5 points then? Chapter 1. Very well, young master. The banquet manager agreed eagerly, so excited he almost jumped on the spot. For the past few years, he'd been furious at the original owner's simp behavior, absolutely hated it, but had no power to stop it. The original owner's lovesick, kneeling devotion to Willow had basically given her a free pass to act wild. She was nothing more than a nanny's daughter, yet she kept pretending to be some rich heiress, hosting banquets for the entire class. Every single time, she deliberately ordered only the most expensive food and wine, letting everyone eat till they were stuffed and even pack leftovers to go. In just 3 short years, the hotel had taken losses in the tens of millions. Sure, that money was pocket change to the richest family, but the manager couldn't stand watching his young master act like a dog for such an ungrateful, pretentious coquette. Thank the heavens, young master had finally woken up. Suppressing the grin tugging at his lips, he asked, "Young master, should I go in now to collect the bill and kick them out?" Just as I was about to nod, the system blasted a piercing alarm in my head. "Host, you cannot change the main storyline or you'll be electrocuted. You must barge into the banquet hall and be mocked by everyone." I clicked my tongue, annoyed. "Then why didn't you shock me just now? You didn't affect the main plot earlier. Get in there now or I'll really shock you." I quickly leaned in and whispered to the banquet manager, "Do as I say later. Wait until I leave before collecting the money." After giving my instructions, I lifted my foot and stepped into the banquet hall. Willow's affectionate singing performance for Makoto had just ended. She said generously, "Thank you all for coming to celebrate Makoto Ito's birthday today. Don't hold back, eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want. It's on me." Everyone immediately started glazing her. As expected of our Miss Lu, the rich heiress. Being able to go all out in the most luxurious hotel in the entire city, this level of generosity is insane. If it weren't for riding young Master Ito's coattails, we'd never get a chance to spend money in a place like this in our whole lives. Beautiful and wealthy, that was Willow Lu's image in everyone's eyes. For the past 3 years, she'd been non-stop manipulating the original owner, spending his money like it was nothing, with zero sense of responsibility as a girlfriend. She even complained to him, "You can hide your identity if you want, but you can't let me suffer for it. Since our relationship can't be public anyway, isn't it better if I get close to other people to help you cover things up?" The original owner could only swallow his humiliation and watch her flirt with her first love every single day. Thinking about it, I couldn't help but sneer. The original owner was a simp, but I'm not. Willow's so-called childhood rescue and companionship? Yeah, zero effect on me. Finally, some classmates noticed my grim expression as I appeared in the banquet hall and immediately started roasting me. Well, how can someone be this shameless? Showing up uninvited to freeload. George, you poor bastard, don't you get tired of staring at Willow all the time? She only sponsored you out of kindness. You didn't seriously think she was into you, right? Exactly. A toad daring to pull a long face, what a joke. For 3 whole years of college, everyone had fully believed Willow's trash lies. They thought the original owner was just a sponsored simp, a lackey, the son of a nanny. Every single one of them was unbelievably dumb. Willow frowned and walked over, lowering her voice. What are you doing here? Go back right now. At this point in the plot, the male lead was supposed to ask her in humiliation, why did you celebrate his birthday behind my back? Then he'd get scolded, retreat in grievance, and leave like a loser. The system urged me on too. Host, hurry up and say your lines, then leave. 5 points of regret are about to be credited. But right then, a nasty little prank idea flashed through my mind. The corner of my lips curled up as I said something absolutely nobody expected. Chapter 2. I'm just working a part-time job here by coincidence. What's wrong with you people? Did you all suddenly get possessed by drama queens? Or have you been watching too many brain-dead short skits? If there's something wrong with your brains, stay away from me. I'm not a vet, I don't treat animals. I looked at the loudest toady from earlier and kept going. Running your filthy mouth in a so-called high-class place, what a low-life piece of trash. TSK. Figures. You're only fit to kiss ass and clap for others. The entire hall went dead silent. Toady number 1 turned pale, all the color draining from his face. The system screamed. Host, you're not following the plot. How am I not following it? I entered the banquet, they mocked me, and the female lead is regretting it. What else do you want? Seeing Willow's regret value jump to 5%, the system immediately shut up. At that moment, Willow genuinely felt regret. She blamed herself for not soothing me properly, for pushing me until I snapped and started insulting people. The part-time job excuse felt like nothing more than a cover for my resentment. Thinking that, she forced down her emotions, pulled me aside, and whispered, George, I only urged you to leave because I was afraid your identity would be exposed. It's for your safety. Please go back, okay? I nodded. Yeah. She froze, clearly not expecting me to switch attitudes so fast. But the toady-eyed roasted wasn't letting it slide. He angrily blocked my way. You useless coward. You insult people and think you can just leave? I'm filing a complaint with the hotel. I'll make sure you don't get a single cent. He made a huge scene and summoned the banquet manager, pointing at my face while yelling, This kid works for your hotel, right? A poor little worker daring to mouth off to guests. I want him fired immediately and thrown out. Otherwise, no one in our circle will ever spend money at your hotel again. The manager's expression turned serious, while I almost burst out laughing. A bunch of freeloading losers clinging to Willow's leg talking about circles. What a joke. The one thing he said was right, they really would never spend money here again. He is indeed an employee of our hotel, the manager said. We sincerely apologize for the unpleasant experience, dear guests. As compensation, the hotel is willing to offer a 10% discount on today's expenses. Would that be acceptable? The toadie's face lit up, his ego inflating even more. That's more like it. This brat ruined our mood, you better explain yourselves. Others joined in. That's right. Fire him. Kick him out. The manager looked at me awkwardly. I just smiled faintly and stared straight at Willow. Are you sure you want me to leave? Her face stiffened. She was about to speak when Makoto interrupted. Can you simps stop clinging to Willow already? The one she likes is me. What she feels for you is nothing but childhood familiarity. She's not from the same world as a poor loser like you. Know your place and get lost. My birthday banquet doesn't welcome you. As he spoke, he wrapped an arm around Willow's shoulders. She didn't push him away. She pressed her lips together and said softly, George, you should go back first. Everyone mocked in unison. Did you hear that? Get lost and stop ruining young Master Ito's birthday. I casually dug a finger in my ear and sneered back. A bunch of beggar dogs free-loading off Willow. What are you barking for? You probably can't even afford a decent bottle of red wine normally. Stop pretending you're elite toadies. That line hit right where it hurt. The toady who'd been roasted the worst turned bright red. Who the hell are you calling names? We're good friends with Willow. She's happy to treat us. Who do you think you are, you sour mutt? Others piled on. Exactly. You're just jealous she's celebrating young Master Ito's birthday. Manager. Add another round of the most expensive dishes. And 20 bottles of Romanicanti. We'll smash some people's dog mouths with real money. Willow's expression shifted as she tried to stop things from spiraling, but Makoto grabbed her hand. Willow, thank you for everything you've done for me. Everyone, don't let some irrelevant person ruin the vibe. Come cheers. He raised his glass, completely cutting off Willow's chance to speak. She smiled at the manager. Uncle Zhang, go ahead and serve what they ordered. The manager acknowledged and left. Toady number 1 pointed at me and roared, "Throw this worthless brat out." I followed the manager out with a cold smile. The system said excitedly, "Host." After they added all those items, Willow's regret value jumped another 10 points. You're cracked. Just wait. It'll go up more later. I crooked a grin and headed to the garage, driving away in the Maybach Willow had borrowed to keep up appearances. Not long after I got back to the villa, my phone was blown up by her calls. The system shouted excitedly, "Holy shit!" The female lead almost couldn't pay the bill. Her regret value just shot up to 40%. I swirled my wine glass, a little disappointed. Only 40? I thought I could push it to at least 50. The system tried to hype me up. There's still another scene tonight. She'll come back and question why you appeared at the banquet. If you follow the original script, say it was just a coincidence and act hurt and heartbroken, you can squeeze out another 5 points of regret. Before it could finish, bang. The villa's front door was kicked open, and Willow stormed in, furious, smashing my wine glass to the floor. Chapter 3. George, why did you disable the black card's secondary card and make the manager charge me? And you deliberately drove the car away too, didn't you? Trying to mess with me? Following the plot, I put on an innocent face. No, I didn't. I just happened to be eating there. As for anything else? I honestly have no clue. Stop acting like you're the only one who can disable the secondary card. Willow was so pissed she was practically steaming. I almost embarrassed myself in front of the entire class today. Turn the secondary card back on right now, or we're done. The system suddenly screeched a warning. Host, hurry up and fix this. In the original text, the female lead never mentions breaking up. If the plot deviates, you'll be electrocuted. Relax. If she were really serious about breaking up, I'd happily take your last name. I spoke slowly, completely chill. You want to break up with me? Are you sure? Then I raised my voice. Auntie Lou, starting tomorrow, you don't need to come here to work anymore. You're fired. I shouted toward the kitchen, where Willow's mom was making a late-night snack. She jumped in shock and rushed out, clutching a ladle. Young master, what do you mean by that? Your daughter wants to break up with me. I like things clean and decisive. Since the relationship's over, we'll settle everything at once. Willow's mom went completely pale. She spun around and smacked Willow hard on the head with the ladle. You stupid girl, what nonsense are you saying? Young master, Willow's just spoiled and talking out of anger. I'll discipline her properly, I promise. She cursed viciously while hitting her nonstop. You ungrateful brat. Are you trying to kill me from anger? I've worked for the Wang family my whole life. Are you trying to make me lose my job at this age? Apologize to the young master right now. Willow had never been treated like this before. She screamed as she was beaten, completely losing it. From childhood until now, it had always been the original owner who spoiled the mother and daughter rotten. After the two entered university, Willow's mother had even been specially transferred to serve them. Serve my ass. She only needed to act busy in public. In private, she'd long been living like a rich lady thanks to her daughter. Hearing that Willow wanted to break up was basically smashing Willow's mother's dream of becoming the richest man's mother-in-law. She wished she could beat this brainless daughter too. Willow's eyes were full of hatred, but her mouth kept backing down. I'm sorry, George. Today was my fault. We won't break up. Please forgive me, okay? The system finally let out a sigh of relief. I waved my hand calmly. Fine. I'll give you one more chance. With that, I stood up and casually went back to my room. Willow and her mother were completely stunned. Neither of them could figure out why I'd suddenly changed. Under her mother's interrogation, Willow confessed everything that had happened that day. Through the surveillance feed, I heard that she'd spent every cent of the pocket money the male lead had given her over the years just to pay the bill. To save face, she even lied that the car had been taken away by the driver for maintenance, then took a luxury taxi back. Mom, that driver's still waiting outside. Go pay him quickly. Her mother immediately cursed in rage. You stupid girl. I've told you 1,000,000 times to save money and stop spending like a lunatic. Look at you now, you almost screwed everything up this time. The regret value above Willow's head shot straight up to 50%. The system was completely stunned. It's only been one day and it's already at 50. I yawned. Don't celebrate too early. The later plot's probably gonna be way nastier. Sure enough, over the next 3 months, Willow started carrying out her punishment on me, exactly as written in the original text. Chapter 4. In the original story, she tried to get revenge on the male lead and make him jealous. In a rage, she moved straight into the dorms and became openly close with Makoto on campus. She ate campus meals with him every day, happily accepted all kinds of cheap gifts and love confessions, and made zero effort to hide it. In the original plot, this triggered a massive sense of crisis in the male lead, pushing him into full simp mode, begging desperately for forgiveness. He handed over his black card with both hands and even used the luxury yacht his billionaire parents gave him to please her. Forced by the main storyline, I had no choice but to play along. Once Willow got hold of the black card, she predictably went even harder on me. First, she ordered the driver to switch to an even more high-end car. Then she deliberately cut my daily allowance, calling it a test. The regret value dropped all the way down to a pathetic 10 points. The system couldn't help complaining, but I sneered. Isn't this exactly what you wanted, forcing me to follow the main storyline? The original owner's simp behavior was never going to make anyone regret a damn thing. Host, if the regret value hits 0, the mission fails. You'll be erased immediately, and I'll be punished too. The system said anxiously. Relax. Did you forget we're about to hit the biggest plot turning point? It froze. Right. The female lead invites the whole class onto a yacht to celebrate graduation. She almost gets drugged by her first love and ends up sleeping with him. You find out in time and stop it. During the argument, Makoto pushes you into the sea. You nearly drown and become a vegetable. The billionaire flips out, demands accountability. The female lead dumps all the blame on the male supporting role, then starts regretting everything and swears loyalty to you through tears. The system instantly went alert. Host, with your personality, there's no way you'll tolerate that, right? I let out a dark chuckle. Exactly. That's why this scene, I'm going to play it beautifully. The system shuddered and squeezed out 2 words. Living ancestor. 1 week later, the plot finally reached the day Willow invited the entire class onto the yacht to celebrate graduation. The show was finally about to start. Chapter 5. Before boarding, Willow showed off like crazy. She claimed the yacht was a graduation gift from her family. In private, she held my hand and said sweetly, George, this yacht is the gift you personally promised me. To me, your family. So you'll cooperate with me, right? Tomorrow I'll go back to City A with you. We'll never be apart again. Tonight is my last night with them. Just indulge me, okay? Let me give my youth a proper goodbye. What she really meant was she wanted me to keep acting and help her maintain her rich heiress image. I sighed inwardly. This pretentious little flirt really had the original owner wrapped around her finger. According to the main storyline, I could only nod and agree. But inside, I was grinning like an idiot. System, there are only 3 key plot points, right? I board the yacht, expose the affair, and get pushed into the sea. Everything else, I can freestyle, right? The system went silent. Yeah. As long as the female lead ends up regretting it, nobody cares about the details. So under everyone's mocking stares, I shamelessly boarded the yacht and immediately became the punching bag again. Toady number 1 laughed first. You're really something, you simp. Like a toad crawling onto someone's foot, not biting, just gross. The others piled on. Exactly, George, you poor bastard. You still have the nerve to show up. What? Here to work as a waiter again? Makoto laughed with his arm around Willow's shoulder. George, oh George. So what if you simped for 4 years? You still have to bow and scrape like a servant. Willow, you should pay him extra. After all, after today he won't get another chance to leech off you. Haha. Willow didn't dare meet my eyes. She forced a smile. We're classmates. Let's just celebrate properly today and stop bringing up bad stuff. She pulled out my black card. Everything on the yacht today is on me. Go wild. I looked at her and smiled. Are you sure? A flicker of irritation crossed her face. Get rid of all irrelevant people on this yacht. I want my classmates to enjoy themselves. I nodded obediently, playing the servant role perfectly. Because the higher she flew, the harder she'd crash. Very well, Miss Liu. This yacht has 5 decks. To clear the venue, you'll need to pay 50 million in compensation. Shall I swipe the card now, or? Before I finished, Willow cut me off. We'll settle everything after we're done having fun. What's that tone? You think I can't afford it? She waved the black card threateningly. George, I don't like being questioned. Everyone's happy today. Are you really going to ruin it for me? She leaned closer and whispered softly, Be good. You promised to cooperate. Are you really going to make me lose face in front of everyone? If I were the original owner, I'd have been completely dazzled. After all, they grew up together. Childhood sweethearts. She once risked her life to save him as a kid. Stayed by his side during his darkest days. Brainwashed since childhood, he believed he'd marry only her. Unfortunately, I'm not him. Seeing me stay silent, Toady number 1 rolled up his sleeves. Don't push it, you simp. Willow tells you to do something, you do it. Keep talking and I'll beat the shit out of you. I pretended to give in, nodded repeatedly, and immediately called the yacht manager to clear the venue. Only then did Willow lift her chin in satisfaction and lead everyone inside. Very soon, she realized something was off. Chapter 6. I'd only taken over this yacht a few months ago, but it was already perfected. Luxury brand boutiques. Bars. Fine dining restaurants. A swimming pool. A golf course. Even a bowling alley. It was basically a floating luxury palace. The system stared in shock. Holy shit. Host, don't tell me you're planning to? Exactly. Since she loves pretending to be a rich heiress, how could I not build the stage to the absolute max? 2 months ago, I'd already called the billionaire couple and had them bring in top-tier brands. All revenue, including my cut. And that black card? I couldn't help letting out a dark chuckle, instantly earning looks of disdain. What's this country bumpkin simp laughing at? Look at that clueless face, so embarrassing. Toady number 1 pointed excitedly at the LV store. Willow, I didn't expect your yacht to actually have an LV shop. Can we check it out? Willow smiled. Of course. Take whatever you want, graduation gift from me. Everyone's eyes lit up. Seriously? Oh my god, my first luxury item? Willow, you're insane. Being your friend must be karma from 3 lifetimes. Like wild animals, they rushed in. The store manager nearly stopped them, until she saw me. She stepped forward, but I stopped her with a glance. They went crazy grabbing everything. Makoto was the worst. He shoved clothes, bags, jewelry into a cart like a madman. It looked like elderly people fighting over discount eggs. Willow noticed my dark expression and whispered sweetly, George, want me to pick something for you too? I sneered inwardly. What was this supposed to be? Using my black card to buy me gifts? Truly, two-faced to the core, cheap as hell, yet acting all righteous. Just as I was about to refuse, Makoto rolled his eyes, yanked a belt out of the shopping cart, and straight up flung it at me. Willow, you're way too nice to this simp. Hey, dead simp, do you even deserve luxury goods? This belt's barely worthy of your broke-ass vibe. The belt flew right at my face. I stepped back a few paces and dodged it coldly. Willow's expression instantly went ugly. Afraid she might get mad, Makoto quickly redirected his rage at me. You simp, how dare you look down on a belt Willow gave you? That single belt costs more than you'd make working for months. The other toadies immediately jumped in too. A pig who can't appreciate fine craftsmanship, hurry up and pick it up already. As if afraid I might snap and ruin the show, Willow hurriedly bent down herself, picked up the belt, and shoved it into my hands. George, just keep it for now, she said softly, her fingertips brushing lightly against my palm. Later, I'll give you an even better gift. That coquettish, perfectly calculated softness she always used to control the male lead, I had to admit, it really was something. See? Willow is kind-hearted, still caring about this simp's dignity. Exactly. Even if he wears that belt, people will just think it's fake, still embarrassing. I quietly listened to their mockery and lowered my head. The system announced excitedly, the female lead's regret value has risen to 20. She's softening. I sneered. I'm not completing this mission by acting pitiful and selling misery. Just wait. Next, surrounded by the crowd, Willow led everyone through the decks, indulging nonstop. Chapter 7. At the second-floor restaurant, they barked orders at the chefs with arrogant gestures. They deliberately picked the most expensive ingredients, even demanding the priciest bird's nest just to rinse their mouths. After eating and drinking their fill, someone suggested heading to the third-floor bowling alley to digest. Fueled by alcohol, Makoto grew even more unhinged. Do you know how high society plays bowling? The toadie's eyes lit up. How? Grinning, he ordered me, go tell them to replace all the bowling pins with red wine. Nothing later than 82. I looked at Willow. She forced a smile and nodded. Go on. It's rare for everyone to be this happy today. This kind of absurd, wasteful entertainment would probably make even the richest man click his tongue in disbelief. Still, I had it done. 1 round, 10 bottles of red wine, each worth 80,000. Shattered one after another as Makoto's bowling ball smashed into them. The toadies clapped and hooped, scrambling to join the insanity. After smashing hundreds of bottles of priceless wine, they finally reached the fourth-floor banquet hall. Dazzling lights. A massive champagne tower. At the yacht manager's signal, a gigantic cake reading, "Happy Graduation," was wheeled in. Everyone completely let loose, clinking glasses, laughing wildly. The toadies' faces were flushed red from drinking. Makoto called over a server, poured a glass of limited-edition red wine, and handed it to Willow. To us. Cheers. After Willow drank it, she soon complained, splash. I was pushed into the sea. The yacht manager soon arrived with the police to arrest Makoto. Just like in the original storyline, he started making excuses. He attacked us first. At most, we acted in excessive self-defense. Willow had sobered up. With reddened eyes, she looked at him suspiciously. She knew she must have been drugged, otherwise, no matter how much she liked Makoto, she'd never sleep with him right under my nose. After all, she understood the difference between one full meal and a lifetime of meals. She'd always prided herself on staying pure to keep me hooked. Yet she'd almost foolishly given herself to Makoto. The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. She shrieked at him, "You said we were going swimming, why did you bring me to a room while I was drunk?" Seeing the truth about to blow up, Makoto panicked. Willow, something must have been wrong with the wine. It was that server, she did it. Because of her feelings for Makoto and the trust she placed in him, Willow immediately dragged an innocent person down with him. She raised her hand, pointing at the server. Yes, officer. She was acting suspicious the whole time, covering her face. It must have been her. Arrest her now. The next second, the server tore off her mask and hat and slapped Willow hard across the face. You pig-brained idiot. You were about to be set up and didn't even realize it. Willow covered her face, completely stunned. Mom, why is it you? Chapter 8. In the original story, the server nearly framed was an innocent girl. To protect her first love, Willow and Makoto insisted the girl had drugged her. Sedatives were found in her pocket, and she suffered an undeserved prison sentence. But this time, things were different. After fully understanding the plot, I found a way to trick Willow's mother into boarding the yacht. I told her I was going to propose to her daughter today and asked her to disguise herself as a server to witness the moment and give Willow an unforgettable surprise. Willow's mother hesitated. I said, "Auntie Lou, you watched Willow and me grow up together. My parents don't agree to us marrying. They want a business marriage. So I'll act first and report later. Once I propose and make it irreversible, they won't be able to stop it." That lovesick brain was exactly why the male lead let Willow toy with him. I exploited it perfectly. Now, not only did she fail to witness a proposal, she was pointed at as the criminal by her own daughter and that fake sweet pretty boy. She nearly exploded and slapped Willow several more times. "So you're an ungrateful little wretch, slandering your own mother? Why can't I be here? If I hadn't come, I'd never know you made such a huge mistake. What does this pretty boy have that's better than George? And you threw yourself into his arms?" In her eyes, being drugged was just an excuse. She grabbed Makoto by the hair and spat in his face. "You pretty boy seducing my daughter and pushing my son-in-law into the sea? Today I'll teach you a lesson." Makoto screamed and turned to Willow for help. But Willow had changed. "Makoto, the drug was yours, wasn't it? My mother would never hurt me. You drugged me, tried to defile me, and pushed George into the sea. Confess." Just like the original plot, she dumped all the blame on him. The system urged me urgently. "Host, final plot point, pretend to be drowning." I sneered. "Why pretend? I arranged rescue boats so I could slap her in the face myself." Ignoring the system's meltdown, I strode onto the 5th deck. Chapter 9. Willow rushed at me, checking me anxious. "Young Master Wang, we're so sorry. We were blind, didn't recognize true greatness. Who knew Willow was such a gold-digging bitch? I'll curse her out for you right now." He spat straight in Willow's face, making her shriek in rage. "So this is what you all are, shameless trash who only know how to suck up to power and kick people when they're down. Tonight's expenses are on you yourselves. Don't even think about dumping them on me. Especially you, Makoto. You grabbed so many luxury items and smashed so much wine, don't even think about denying it." The manager's face instantly darkened. "Miss Liu, are you trying to default on the bill?" "I'm not. I barely spent anything tonight. They took the items, they smashed the wine. Why should I pay?" Willow's face flushed red as she lunged forward and tried to grab my hand. "George, I know I was wrong. From now on I'll cut ties with all of them and be good to you alone. This yacht is yours, they're all your people. Please tell them not to make things hard for me, okay?" I stepped back a few paces and sneered. "Willow, how do you even have the face to say that? When I treated you like a person, you refused the respect. Now you're barking like a dog. What for? You were the one who patted your chest and said you'd cover all expenses. Don't tell me you're planning to be a shameless liar now." She trembled under my words, and the toadies instantly turned on her. "That's right. You said it yourself, now you won't admit it. The surveillance cameras caught everything. Officer, arrest this bitch for trying to dodge her debts." Not wanting to give up the luxury goods already in their hands, they turned on her en masse. However, the police stated that a verbal promise alone wasn't legally binding. Everyone had to bear responsibility for their own expenses. Wailing, the toadies returned the luxury items they hadn't even had time to enjoy. But the delicacies they'd eaten and the priceless wine they'd smashed added up to a terrifying sum. Even if they sold everything they owned, they still couldn't afford it. In the end, they were all arrested and awaited judicial trial. Some of the toadies tried to kneel and beg me for mercy, only to be viciously cursed back. "A bunch of brain-dead trash with your intestines wired straight to your heads, nothing but shit coming out of your mouths, eyes grown in your asses. Don't beg me. You disgust me. Trash belongs in the trash heap. If you don't know how to behave like humans, I'll teach you. Go inside and reflect properly, you garbage." They were scolded into dead silence, their earlier arrogance completely wiped out. Makoto's family had some money. His parents soon arrived and paid his share. Willow owed the most. Her mother had already been arrested as a suspect, and there was no one left to help her pay. She could only be escorted to the police station as well. Before leaving, she cried and begged me to save her. I refused without hesitation. Willow, you wanted to build a fake persona with my money, flirt with a pretty boy, and nearly got me killed. You did all of this yourself. I'm bored. I'm done playing along. Go to the police station and repent. The moment my words fell, the regret value above Willow's head shot up to 99. The system was stunned. Insane toast. Just one more point and the mission is complete. I smiled at the leading officer and said, Officer, I'd also like to report her for stealing my black card and spending over 100 million with it over the past few months. I only discovered it today, which is why I immediately canceled the card. I'm charging her with theft and fraud. Chapter 11. Under my final soul-crushing blow, Willow's face turned deathly pale as she screamed, You're lying. George, that black card was something you voluntarily gave me. Oh. I raised a brow. Do you have any proof? You don't. But I do. Smiling, I pulled out a thick stack of records and handed them to the police. She previously used my secondary card without authorization. After I discovered it, I canceled it to stop the losses. I never expected her to completely lose her mind and actually steal my primary card as well. Officers, these are all the signed transaction slips from when she fraudulently used both of my cards. The stores all have surveillance footage too. I was never informed, never present, and never gave consent. There was never any gift agreement or authorization between us. Everything she did was long-term illegal possession and use of my property without permission. In that instant, Willow's expression froze completely. The regret value above her head instantly maxed out at 100. The system went wild. Congratulations, host. Mission complete. George, you can't do this to me. Willow screamed as she lunged toward me, only to be swiftly restrained and shoved into the police car. Later, through the surveillance I had arranged in advance, the police confirmed that Willow's mother had been framed by Makoto. The drugs found in her apron pocket had been secretly planted by him. Makoto's real method was hiding the drug under his fingernails and slipping it into Willow's drink. In the end, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison for attempted rape, intentional injury, and attempted murder. Those toadies were each sentenced to 6 months detention with a 1-year suspended sentence. Before paying off their massive civil compensation, they were all placed on the dishonesty blacklist, official debt defaulters. 4 fresh graduates about to enter society, this was a fatal blow. Their futures were basically nuked. As for Willow, due to fraud and theft involving an especially massive sum, she was sentenced to 10 years in prison, and all legally registered assets under her name were confiscated. It just so happened that all those assets had originally been gifts from me, firmly held in her mother's hands. After watching her chance to marry up, along with villas and luxury cars, all get seized by the courts, Willow's mother suffered a stroke from the shock and was left paralyzed. But even that was insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Willow's future was now permanently chained to lifelong debt. My mission was finally completed in full. The system informed me, Host, the 300 million bonus has been credited. Due to your outstanding performance, we've decided to grant you an additional reward. Do you have any other wishes? I thought for a moment and asked tentatively, Can I choose immortality? Wishes cannot violate the natural laws of the original world. Then let my whole family live free of illness and disaster, healthy, safe, and long-lived. After all, with this much money, I needed to enjoy it properly, with them. Granted as you wished. In a burst of light, I returned to my original home. A life of wealth and health. Here I come.